Hello everyone, and today what we're going to be testing out is seeing, do Thunder Dragons still have the ability to compete? They have gotten no support in the last two drops. The last time these guys got support realistically was the bringing in of Baronne de Fleur and DPE, which has been quite a while ago now. The deck has been completely lacking support since, and can it still compete? The answer: absolutely. Honestly, picked this deck up, didn't even play it for that long, and we were absolutely crushing it. Again, we're getting sort of mid-season. I'm still down to platinum because we've been messing around with the update, and you know, we've got a few things going on, so we haven't been like super grinding through ranked. But trust me, if you want to get into diamond here, this deck seems to be just ripping apart platinum as it stands. Super powerful, very similar to what we were doing before. Now, when it comes to the new event, we are going to be streaming the event as well on the channel. You're probably going to see the VOD uploaded. This video is probably going to be going live a number of hours before the stream starts. I believe this is due to go live tomorrow at around 11, so about 4-ish hours after this video goes live, we're going to be streaming the event, the Duelist Cup, where we're going to be grinding all the way up to DV level 20. We'll be doing it all in one stream, and if we manage to get it done early, we're going to jump into ranked and see how far we can grind up through ranked as well. We'll be doing viewer duels as well if we have time for a bit of fun and discussing things overall. So if you want to be a part of that, there is a link in the description to our Discord where stream alerts, links, things like that are all sent out. So if you want to join in on the streams, hop into the Discord and then we'll get the notifications out to you. Now, what are you looking at here? This is extremely similar to the version of Thunder Dragons that we last played on the channel. Not a lot has changed. I did alter the hand trap lineup a little bit, but you don't have a lot of room for hand traps in this particular deck. But to be perfectly honest, this deck actually has a really favorable matchup in a particular meta with Thunder Dragon Colossus. So Colossus is like a one-card counter to Flowandereeze, because your opponent can't add cards from their deck to the hand, which against any deck is devastating. But against Flowandereeze, that means they can't resolve the Rabina, they cannot resolve their Eaglin, meaning they do not get their additional normal summons off of their primary searches. So Thunder Dragon Colossus, if you can get this out 3-1 against Flowandereeze, they are going to struggle, especially considering their main methods of removal aren't really going to work on the Colossus. They're going to need to really top deck into something amazing, which they can't guarantee is going to happen. So Thunder Dragon Colossus is amazing. Titan, Baronne de Fleur as well on top of that is just insult to injury. And against anything else, you're also going to be setting up an extra deck lock just as part of your core combo, which I will break down at the end. So if you like what you're seeing and you want to see anything more like this, do subscribe, you know, hop on. It doesn't cost you anything and it really does help me out, so I would appreciate the support. And leave any comments for what you would like to see in the future. So let's take this into game number 1. Alright, getting into game number 1 here, we're opening up with a very solid hand. Gold Sark is a basically one card combo. Love the animation they gave Gold Sark, by the way. Really good call. So what we're going to do is Gold Sark out the Thunder Dragon Roar. When the Thunder Dragon Roar is banished, it will summon Dark from the deck. Now we want to get Dark into the graveyard, so we're going to use the Ready Fusion to summon out Sea Monster Theseus, which is a level 5 tuner. Level 5 tuner and non-tuner will give us Baronne de Fleur. That'll trigger the Thunder Dragon Dark in the grave to search for our Hawk, so we're getting our core combo as well as Baronne de Fleur on the field, which is amazing. We discard Hawk to revive Roar, tribute Roar to summon Thunder Dragon Colossus from the extra deck. Then we're going to banish a light and a dark from our graveyard to summon out our white and black dragons from the hand. Link summon into Union Carrier. Union Carrier will then equip onto our Colossus from the deck our Dragon Buster Destruction Sword, and there you go. So our opponent cannot search their deck for cards, they can only draw into cards, they are locked out of their extra deck, and we have a free negate whenever we want. So two really powerful floodgates as well as an Omni negate. Our opponent does go for Lightning Storm off the bat, so we're going to use Baronne de Fleur here to negate that Lightning Storm. Then he uses Droplet and sends the Lightning Storm to the graveyard in order to get a negate. Now he chooses to negate Baronne de Fleur, which is a very interesting choice. That does mean the Lightning Storm will resolve, but ultimately it's getting rid of what is now a useless Baronne de Fleur and Union Carrier, because do not forget, Thunder Dragon Colossus can banish Thunder monsters from the graveyard to protect itself from destruction. So we banish the Dark, and when the Dark is banished, we get to use its effect. Now we're going to chain Matrix here to boost up our Thunder Dragon Colossus by 500. The only reason we're doing that is so that we constantly have a Thunder Monster in the grave to banish should we need to. And we're playing against Ancient Warriors here, but they are severely limited in what they can do. 4100 indestructible beatstick. They know what's coming. They can't beat that. And he scoops it up. So really straightforward game here for number 1. I did just want to show off that core sort of combo with the banishment of the Roar and how a 1-card banish of the Roar is full combo. You don't need Gold Sark for it. There's a bunch of different ways of doing it. Gold Sark is just one of the most direct ways of doing it. Plus that animation is so clean. I wanted to get it in the video at least once. So let's get into game number 2. Alright, game number 2 here. We're going first again. We did get pretty lucky when it comes to the coin draw choices. Now, our hand here doesn't seem as powerful on the surface, but it does have quite a few good things going on. So we're going to discard a Thunder Dragon to add another. We're going to discard a Thunder Dragon to add another. We're filling up our graveyard, and we're now triggering the effect to summon a Colossus later on. We use Ready Fusion to summon Kaminari Attack. By banishing Kaminari Attack on a Thunder Dragon on our hand, we summon the Thunder Dragon Titan. Now we can normal summon Matrix, Tribute Matrix for our Colossus, and when Matrix is sent to the graveyard, it will grab another one from deck to hand. Now this board isn't quite as powerful as the last, but it's still a pretty decent floodgate in that our opponent now cannot use, they cannot search their deck for cards, and we also get to pop a card whenever we want using Titan. Whenever you activate a Thunder effect in hand, Titan will pop a card non-targeting, so it's very, very powerful. Our opponent activates Necro Valley and sets about 1 million cards, and passes turn here. He's also got Thunder King Ryo. Now, if you don't know what this card does, lucky you. Now you're about to learn. Basically, this has a very similar effect to Colossus, except it applies to both players. Now, if we were to special summon a monster, this guy could send itself to the graveyard to negate that summon, which we're not overly worried about. We don't really care about that. We're gonna, at the end phase, discard our Matrix to boost up our Colossus, triggering Titan's effect to pop a card. We're going to pop the Necro Valley just so that we can banish cards from our graveyard if we need to protect our Thunder Dragons. Against 5 back row, I dare say we're going to need some protection. We're going to use Allure of Darkness here. We didn't want to banish the Celestial, so we get the Lupine. Lupine's no good in this hand. Now our opponent actually has Mirror Force, and as well, amazing animation for Mirror Force, so cool, but it doesn't matter. Both Titan and Colossus can protect itself, Titan by banishing any 2 cards, and Colossus by banishing specifically a Thunder monster. So it doesn't do anything against us, basically. Now we're just going to swing across, get a bunch of damage, set our Imperm, and pass. Now our opponent's going to flip up here a Harpy's Feather Duster, taking out our Infinite Impermanence. Not that we care. He also had Cardiff Demise set, so he gets to draw an additional 3, sets 2, and summons the Inspector Border. That basically means no monster effects up until the number of additional summoning mechanics used on the field. At the minute there's Fusion, so we can activate 1 effect. He's also got Macrocosmos here, so anything that would be sent to the grave is instead banished. We don't really care. Again, we're going to shuffle back 3 of our Thunder Dragons from the graveyard or banish pile to Fusion summon out our Titan. Another Mirror Force, but again, we simply don't care. We're going to protect our first 2. We don't have as much materials in the grave as we would have liked, so our our second Titan does get destroyed. We're going to grab another Matrix here from the deck, which we're going to be able to use on the following turn of our Titan, if there was a following turn, but there is not. That is the destruction of Trap Stun here. A lot of decks really struggle against Trap Stun because your movements and your maneuverability is really limited. What makes Thunder Dragon so powerful is that the big boss monsters, the Colossus and the Titan, are so accessible, as well as really powerful in a simplified game state, and that is what they aim to create using that deck. They're looking to blow out your field by using Mirror Force. They're looking to control the summoning of your monsters, control how many times you can negate, how many times you can pop. So that's the whole point of their deck, and being able to turn that on its head simply by being a big indestructible beatstick is pretty incredible. So you love to see it. I despise trap stun players, this sort of stun deck. I hate it. So it's always nice to see one, and even better to trample them completely. So let's get into game number 3. Alright, getting into our last game, we're going first here. We're going to normal summon the Aloof Lupine, which will banish a Thunder in our hand to banish a Thunder from the deck. Banishing the Roar then is going to summon Dark. Darken Lupine. So this is your sort of bread and butter combo using the Lupine. The Lupine, of course, being the best normal summon in the deck. Lupine banishes Roar from deck, summons Dark. Dark and Lupine will use summon Union Carrier. Dark being sent to the grave will grab Hawk. Hawk then, by discarding itself, will grab your banished Roar, summon it out to the field. There's your Colossus. There's your Union Carrier. Now you can set up your Colossus plus their lock, which is incredible. Our opponent, of course, right at this moment, has Nibiru. That is exactly 5 summons, and Nibiru is the bane of my existence. I never see this card, but the one time I see it is in one of those decks that especially hits it. So we're just going to bite the bullet. We're going to Chaos Space. We're not just going to leave our board there, otherwise we're guaranteed to lose. Discard the effect fielder to grab the Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, which we will summon. Link summon into the Striker Dragon. Now when the Black Dragon sent to the grave, it will grab the White Dragon and will banish the Black Dragon to summon it. We'll then use the second effect of Chaos Space to return the Black Dragon to the deck to draw 1. We draw into Fusion Destiny. Now we still decide to go into Predaplant Verte Anaconda and use Fusion Destiny based off of its effect, just to see if our opponent happened to have something like Effect Veiler or something in their hand. They did not, and an important reason as to why we didn't use it from the hand is it can't get ashed if Verte Anaconda uses it. Now our opponent unfortunately has Book of Moon. Book of Moon being very telling, it almost guarantees we're playing against Floowandereeze. We have no choice but to use the effect of our Enforcer, otherwise it's likely not going to be able to activate its effect. We pop itself in the Book of Moon and it will resummon itself next turn, assuming it can. Now our opponent is, as predicted, playing Floowandereeze, and it's not looking great. That Nibiru really hurt us, as he's going to summon Rabina, summon the Eaglin, summon the M-Pen. The standard play you've seen 1,000,001 times by now from all of these Floowandereeze players in the higher ranks. Rabina will add itself back to the hand. M-Pen's going to grab himself a spell or a trap from the deck. He's going to grab the trap card, of course. And being an on-demand normal summon, he normal summons the barrier statue, swings into the Nibiru token. We decide we have better things to be doing with our life, and we call it a game. The deck, unless you are Yugi and can just top deck into like Lightning Storm, if you're even playing it, we're not even playing it. There's no real way of winning that. Let's be real, because honestly setting the Chaos Space really did hurt us, because at the very least we could have like drawn into Imperm maybe, but because we had the Chaos Space set, even the Imperm wasn't going to help. So it is what it is. What are you going to do about it? Floowandereeze, best deck in the game, so of course you're going to struggle. That Nibiru really shut us down. If he did not Nibiru us, we would have won that game, or at least we would have had a much better chance of winning that game. He probably would have just become in closet. Whatever, we're not going to think about it. But yeah, that's game number 3. Let's get into the deck profile. Alrighty, so getting into the deck profile, we're going to start very quickly by listing off the bread and butter combo that you're going to want to be doing with the deck. So in general, what you're wanting to be doing is banishing Thunder Dragon Roar. That's it. So banishing Thunder Dragon Roar usually sets up your full play. When Thunder Dragon Roar is banished, it will special summon from your deck Thunder Dragon Dark. When Thunder Dragon Dark is sent to the field sent from the field to the graveyard or banished, it will search your deck for a Thunder Dragon card, being Thunder Dragon Hawk. Thunder Dragon Hawk will resurrect one of your banished Thunder Dragons, and do resurrect the banished one because it can then be banished from the graveyard later on for protection. So pick your banished one, resummon it to the field, then use that banished monster to summon Colossus. That's how you get your Colossus. Now, where does the rest of the combo come in? It usually comes in with how you're sending Thunder Dragon Dark to the graveyard, but we'll get to that in a moment. So, the combo all starts off of banishing Thunder Dragon Roar. How are you banishing Thunder Dragon Roar? Well, the first and most direct route is, of course, Gold Sark. Banish any card in your deck. Sick. Really strong card. You have Allure of Darkness. Draw 2 cards, then banish a dark monster from your hand. If you happen to draw into your Roar and an Allure of Darkness, that is quite possibly one of the strongest combinations in the deck. Really good. You have the Aloof Lupine, which will banish it from your hand or from your deck if you have another Thunder monster in hand. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ways so far. You have Instant Fusion and Ready Fusion, because these guys will summon out Kaminari Attack. Kaminari Attack will banish itself and a Thunder monster in your hand to summon out the Titan. If you have Roar in your hand, then there you go. You banish the Kaminari Attack and the Roar, and there is your combo. So again, there is an additional 3 copies, so we're up to 10. Chaos Space. If you have Chaos Space and the Thunder Dragon Roar, you discard Roar to grab your White Dragon Wyver Burster. You will banish then the Roar from the grave to summon the White Dragon. There's your combo, so there's another 3 cards. We're up to 13, and I believe that to be it. So you've got 13 ways of banishing the Thunder Dragon Roar in your main deck alone, and all of them are very powerful in their own way. For example, Chaos Space is basically a 1-card DPE as well as your main combo. Your Aloof Lupine is going to set up your Union Carrier play. So you'll banish, so let's say you summon Lupine. Lupine banishes a Thunder from hand and a Roar from the deck. Roar summons Thunder Dragon Dark. Dark and Lupine go into your Union Carrier. So this is the part where you're talking about how do we send Dark to the graveyard. So the easiest and most direct route is basically alongside whatever additional combo piece you use. So if, for example, if you use Aloof Lupine to banish your Roar to then summon out the Dark, well, Aloof Lupine and your Thunder Dragon Dark are going to go into your Union Carrier, triggering your Dark. If you use Chaos Space, you're going to summon the Dark out to the field after the banish. Then you link summon using your White Dragon into your Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon and Thunder Dragon Dark go into your Union Carrier. There you go. So that's 6 cards here that will automatically get you loads of advantage. Allure of Darkness, banishing your Roar, is less direct in its route, but being able to just draw 2 cards for free is pretty nuts. You're bound to have a play after doing that, which sounds like a bit of a cop-out, but trust me, you will have a play. And that's like, those are the main sort of routes you're going to go down when it comes to the Dark. Otherwise, you're just looking to combine it. Like, for example, Ready Fusion, Instant Fusion. You may want to summon Sea Monster Theseus out from your extra deck, which is a level 5 tuner. You can either do some synchro plays, or you can do some link plays. I guess the link engine isn't really that strong. You can probably bump it up. We'll not talk about that just yet. So these guys will do 5+5 synchro into your Baron de Fleur. So there's plenty of ways of getting Dark to the graveyard, and off of that sending, you're going to be summoning out either something like your Union Carrier, your Baron de Fleur, your Thunder Dragon Titan. You're going to be summoning something really powerful as well as your core combo, which is the bread and butter. And how does the rest of the deck function? The rest of the deck is basically just support. Again, we've sort of covered most of it. These guys, the Instant Fusion, Ready Fusion, just summon out your Sea Monster Theseus and Kaminari attack. Your hand traps, we're running Effective Healer and Infinite Impermanence. You literally do not need those 6. You can do whatever you want for your last 6 cards. You're running the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword for your extra deck lock off of the Union Carrier. We'll talk about Union Carrier in a moment. Thunder Dragon Matrix can discard itself in your hand to boost up one of your Thunder monsters by 500. Its primary goal is triggering the effect of Thunder Dragon Titan to destroy a card whenever you activate a Thunder in hand. So that's its primary purpose. White Dragon and Black Dragon to be searched off of Chaos Space as primary starters, and being able to just be free extenders, banishing Lights and Darks from grave. Pretty amazing cards. Playing the DPE engine, of course, Fusion Destiny, Dasher, and Celestial, pretty standard. 3 copies of Thunder Dragon because, again, free materials into the graveyard, free discard to summon your Colossus. There's a lot of advantages to using the OG Thunder Dragon. Opening multiple will brick your hand without a doubt, but opening 1 is amazing. Plus, 1 copy of these and 2 copies in the deck means basically you get to pop 2 cards off of your Titan by default, which is insane. So if you're going second, this alongside your Titan actually becomes one of the deck's best methods of breaking boards. What haven't we talked about? We haven't really talked about, well, no, I mean, we've sort of talked about everything. We have Chaos Space here. For anyone who doesn't know what it does, you discard a Light or a Dark to add the opposing attribute of Dragon here. So if you discard a Dark, you grab your White Dragon, discard a Light, grab your Black Dragon. Pretty straightforward. Moving into the extra deck then, you have Kaminari Attack and Sea Monster Theseus. This is just a level 5 tuner, it could be whatever you want. Kaminari Attack is pretty important because you can banish it and a Thunder in hand to summon your Titan, one of your main boss monsters. Titan, as I said before, activate a Thunder in hand, Titan gets to pop a card, and considering you have Thunder Dragon Dark and Matrix, who are both quick effects and can be used in your opponent's turn, that's pretty cool. You can get multiple pops in your opponent's turn. Colossus is the big boss monster of the deck, limited to 1 and for good reason. It can be special summoned easily simply by tributing a Thunder monster on the turn that you've activated 1 in hand. and so long as it's face up, your opponent cannot add cards from their deck to the hand except by drawing them. Both of these big Thunder Dragons can protect themselves from destruction by banishing cards from the graveyard. DPE, because why not? We got Predaplant in here for that same reason. Baron de Fleur, because, you know, it's very easily summonable. Striker Dragon for your White Dragon and Black Dragon combos, very, very necessary toolbox card. Crystron Hulk, you can either, right, you can either cut this, right, and add something else in, or you can cut the Avramax and potentially the Unicorn and increase then the tuner engine by putting in, let's say, like a Auroradon and sort of going down that route if you want to. Personally, I never use Hulk, so the only way in which he's useful is if you ever have a non-effect monster in your field, like a Nibiru token, you can use it at a tuner to go into Hulk. Hulk will summon a tuner from your deck, which will be an effect monster, and that facilitates your Verte Anaconda. That is such a niche interaction. I only have it in there because I despise Nibiru. That is it, but it is definitely by no stretch of the imagination in any way an optimal card to include. So that can be literally anything you want. Like, yeah, why not Apollosa? Why not? But yes, any you are there basically. IP Masquerena is here for the Mech Knight Crusader Avramax. So IP summoning out Avramax means Avramax cannot be targeted, destroyed, and it gets huge whenever it battles a special summon monster because it gains their attack points. And if they do manage to get rid of it, you can spin an opponent's card on the field back into the deck. So this little combo here is pretty powerful when you get to pull it off. Decent follow-up. Union Carrier will equip your Dragon Buster Destruction Sword from your deck onto any of your Dark or Dragon monsters, i.e. your Colossus being a Dark. So that's why he's here. Predaplant, because Predaplant. Unicorn, generic links. Avramax, generic links. Apollosa or Needlefiber, generic links. And Access Code Talker, generic link. Those last few cards can be whatever you want, but I guess these guys just provide the most versatility in the most situations. You'll not very often use them though. So that's pretty much the deck. Honestly, it's a lot less complicated than it sounds. The core combo is literally banish Roar and then freaking monkey spam your Thunders onto the field. It's pretty simple. And there's so many ways and like sort of combo routes it can go down. It's pretty resilient to interruption at times. Not the most resilient. It's not going to play through 1,000,001 interruptions, but it does have a few different methods of getting through your opponent's blockades. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to say on the deck. If you have any ideas for it and would like to see improvements, I know I've played like invoked versions and stuff in the past, but I think the pure version's better. It just flows a bit more. You're not like competing over what's a better normal summon. So yeah, if you've got anything you'd like to see, or you know you have any suggestions you'd like to make, feel free to leave a comment and subscribe to keep on top of future content. And that's pretty much me. I'll see you all in the next one.